So Accra Hearts are starting a very important journey, the CAF Champions League. They're up against Kamsar on Sunday. Loads of eyes will be looking out for this particular one. And the roads lead to the Accra Sports Stadium for any one of you who are listening to us and watching us as well. We are very excited to bring you maybe what I would call the most complete preview to this special game. We'll talk about Accra Hearts. We'll talk about the stars that are in the team, how the team is getting ready. We'll talk about the players who have joined Accra Hearts because the team that you saw at the end of the season is not quite the same team as we speak now. And then we'll also look at the opposition, what they have and what they are bringing in. I've got fantastic men joining me to do this, and it's always a privilege to be joined by Felix Romark. Romark, how are you doing? Have you got your jerseys already?
Not yet. Actually, I couldn't afford the price that was being mentioned at the launch yesterday, so I'm not reached that level. I'm just waiting for a normal replica price to buy, but I'll definitely get a home and away kit. But if you should ask me, I think I really love the away kits more than the home. But as a phobia, I need to buy both.
James, Sowah joins me. James, it's been a while. How are you doing? You quickly unmute and tell me how you're doing, James.
I'm doing great.
When are you getting your jersey though?
Well, just as Felix Romark rightly said, we are just sitting on the fence waiting for the replica to come in. So we purchase ours and then that of our spouses. So we are waiting.
Yeah, that's important, well. Because when Dr. Nuhu and Tugbe are all around, the prices will definitely be very expensive for anyone to pick it up. Nuhu Adams joins me. He's here to do a fantastic job. Tell us what the opposition are putting up together. But anyway, have you got your Cotton jersey now, Nuhu?
Well, I don't have a replica. The only jersey I have for this season is Orlando Pirates, because they sent me all the South Africa. So I'm waiting for Romark and James to buy me the House of Good jersey.
Romark, I don't know what you make of this one.
Oh no, I'll buy him the home one and James will buy him the away one.
Okay, all right.
But on the basis that he'll give us the tips for Sunday's game.
Now, I don't know, but let's start with this before we even get into the heart of the discussion, really, guys. But I think that there's a fantastic buzz around the clubs in the way Kotoko and Hazel have conducted themselves. Let me start with you, Romark, on this one. How important is it, and how do these clubs build on from here going into the season?
Well, I think that for me, I really like the rivalry that is going on. Gone were the days when we were just talking about how many trophies has each team won, who is going to win this particular super clash and all that. But you realize that in recent developments, both clubs are trying to supersede the other in terms of infrastructure. Atopok will tell you have PHOBIA. Kotoko will tell you that they are developing Adako Dachi. You talk about bars. So now the rivalry has really gone out of what happens on the field of play. Now it is more about facilities and how the clubs are trying to, get all these facilities available for them. And I like that. We've gone past what is happening on the field. Atopok fans want to make sure that their jersey is better than that of Kotoko. Kotoko fans want to make sure that they have a very decent training ground. Atopok want to make sure that the PHOBIA project is a top-notch. Atopok is trying to make sure that they have a very good secretariat that befits a club that is 110 years, or a club that will be 110 years come November. So I'm loving that type of rivalry. We've taken it outside the field. We are trying to venture into the commercial aspects of making that rivalry, good. And for me, it is good for Ghana football. I'm sure that next season, both clubs will be thinking, let's improve the quality of the designs of the jerseys. Both clubs will say, let's get a very good bus in terms of we getting a new bus. Let's make sure that our training facility are the best in the country. So this kind of rivalry is very good for our game. And I just hope that us and Kotoko paving the way, the upcoming clubs also would want to use this as a point. Because if you look at when us and Kotoko got their buses, a lot of teams have also gotten the Great Olympics have got a team bus. There is Karela who has got a team bus. So it is all good for the love of the game. And then yesterday, for instance, you could see the Hearts of Folk were trending number one in terms of their PHOBIA 110 hashtag. There was Kotoko trending alongside, and it is good for Ghana football. And I'm sure that of all the things that went on at the end of the season, I think that these are some of the positives we can take from Ghana Premier League.
Okay, guys, then let's talk about the main meet of the day. And the reason why a lot of people want to watch this is to talk about the Far Hearts of League have to start another CAF Champions League journey. It's been a while since they made it, and they'll be hoping that this one will bring a lot of good luck, to them. James, let's talk about the kind of team we have now from what we saw at the end of the season. I don't know what my count is here, about 8 or 7 or 6. We've got quite a number of signings who have come in. Can you take us through the signings away from the normal ones that we know? Can you take us through that?
Yeah, certainly. I think Accra Hearts of Oak needed to bolster their squad ahead of the competition, and rightly so. They started off rightly with the signing and announcement of Blatinawaku from Accra Great Olympics. There's no need talking much about Blatinawaku because we know his pedigree when it comes to the Ghana football or Ghana Premier League and how he excelled even on the African terrain. So there's no much to be talked about when it comes to the midfield dynamo and what he adds to this Accra Hearts of Oak midfield of Afutu Nete and Ibrahim Salifu. And then the one of the exciting signing that we loved to see or we wish to see him play in the midfield of Accra Hearts of Oak is Enoka Subontin, that Accra Hearts of Oak captured from Wafa. I think he's a bright prospect. He's a talent that, even though he's not yet picked, we can all attest to his exploit with the likes of Wafa. So I think he brings a lot to the team where Accra Hearts of Oak lacks. And it must be said that Accra Hearts of Oak current gaffer, that's the coach Samuel Guedu, he loves working with young talents. We saw what he did with his former team, Diama, where he was unable to unearth raw young talent in and around the Takwa areas, and how he was able to bring them to stardom when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. So we should expect same from some of the likes that they've signed. And then one player that I'm so much excited to see in the squad is Benjamin York, that Accra Hearts of Oak captured from Samatex. York played 26 games for Samatex, scoring 6 goals with 6 MVPs. That says a lot about the kind of player he is. And when you look at the current squad, Accra Hearts of Oak midfield, in as much as they were solid about 15 or the second round of the league season, I think what they lacked was more goals from midfield. So whenever the attackers were not firing, the Accra Hearts of Oak always find themselves in trouble. So with the likes of York coming in, we should be able to see more goals from midfield. And then this young talent from Surat Seidu from Far Rangers, that last season he played in the Division 1 for Tema United. I think he's also a good addition to the Accra Hearts of Oak brand. But as to whether they will be able to fit the bill in when it comes to the Champions League, I don't think they are ripe yet for that competition. So we won't see their contributions when it comes to the African terrain yet, but with Coach Samuel Boydu, I know he'll be able to work on them and then coming season. And as Accra Hearts of Oak rightly said, after capturing them, they are not signing them for just a season. It's a project that they are working on. So they are trying to tie down young prospects who they'll be able to have in their ranks for quite some time and be able to learn from Samuel Boydu and for coming season. So I think these are good signings for Accra Hearts of Oak. But what I'm not really sure about is the second coming of Kofi Koji. Yes, he's a good striker. He loves playing as a lone man up front. But when you look at Samuel Boydu's tactics and his systems that he plays, it is difficult for a striker, for him to play a lone striker or someone who of Kofi Koji's caliber to strive in Boydu's system. So I'm not really sure of that particular signing, because I was thinking more of like we getting a player who is more of a ball handler and will be able to score goals. But with Kofi Koji, I doubt if he will be able to live up to the bill through the second coming. But Well, who knows? Maybe he might have learned a thing or two after going to. Yes, and then the final one is Isaac Boateng. I think it's a very good signing for Accra to follow. We saw his exploits with Bidiama. Yes, last season his appearances were curtailed due to some injuries here and there. He did not feature much for Mediama. He made just 14 appearances for Mediama, scoring 3 goals. But there's no question about his qualities.
Good. I think you made the point. Just before I bring in Nuhu, tell us what's happening on the other side. Romark, I think there's this young chap as well. I've seen Salim. Is this Salim Adams? There's this young chap that a lot of the guys are talking about, and he seems to have some buzz about him. I did some work for him on YouTube, and I was surprised at the number of views that he had. I don't know why are people so interested in Salim Adams? Felix, can you unmute then?
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm saying that he's a very interesting chap. He's very entertaining to watch. I have also watched a couple of the videos. But one thing that I'm so happy about is if you look at the current Accra Sowah technical team, what the board is doing is they are giving opportunity to the coaches to make their own signing. And trust me, if you talk about signing, Buedu has a very good assistant in Hamza. If you talk about database of players all over the country, you can trust somebody like Hamza to have it. So I don't even want to question any of the signings that Buedu and Hamza are bringing into the club. If you give them the opportunity, they will get the best players available in the country for you. But I must say that of all the players that James have mentioned, I think that Benjamin York for me is the player I would love to see, because if you look at what he did in the Division 1, clearly he was one of the best players, if not the best player in the Division 1 league last season for Samatex. And I just hope that he will make a breakthrough. I've had experience of watching some of the training games that he has played for Accra Sowah, and I think that the Phobians would love him. For Glasson Awaku, he's a player who will enhance Accra Sowah's participation in Africa, because he has played in that competition with TP Mazembe. He has won it before. He has played in it with Bekum Chelsea. So if you look at the whole Accra Sowah setup, you don't have a player who has a Champions League experience, and that is what Glasson Awaku will bring into that particular team. And I think that he's one of the best players we have in the league. And as for getting him for that African adventure is a very good thing, I must say.
Yeah, that's important. Well, and it's good because I felt Salim had a buzz about him. I spoke to York. He's a fine gentleman, and he's got a very good view about everything that's happening. That's great. Nuhu, okay, before we come back to Hearts, look at the tactics that will happen, or what should be able to match what Kamsar are bringing. Give us an idea of Kamsar. So what's Kamsar? What are they doing? Where are they? Or what have they been doing in the last few weeks? Can you just take us through it? Why should Hearts be worried about Kamsar?
Well, George, if we say club in that Kamsar, there are minnows in African football. Even when you go to Guinea, mentioning of big clubs, Kamsar is not one of them. You have the Boroya AC, you have AS Kalimstar, you have PHOBIA Match, Fellow Star, Satellite FC. All these teams will come above Kamsar. In their experiences in African Champions, in the CAF Champions, in the CAF Champions, I think they have never been to the group stage before. So when we say minnows, we can definitely describe Kamsar as minnows in this way that. But what they want to do is that they want to prove a point this time around. They want to make a mark in the African competition. So after finishing second in the Guinean League last year, that gave them the ticket to play in the CAF Champions. They've made 12 new signings. 12 new signings. And if you look at the kind of players they were able to sign, they have some international players in there. They have Damilo Lashe Wilson, who they signed from Benin. They have Sanku Basila, who was one of the best players in the Guinea League last season. They have three Ghanaians, Samson Eruku, who was a top player in the Division 1 League last season. They have Amos Dupont, very, very experienced player. A lot of people in Ghana knows him because he's played for Asante Kotoko. And just last season, he was with 11 Wonders. They also have former Asante Kotoko winger or forward, Martin Impey, in there. So, looking at the addition, they've done this season, it clearly tells a story that Kamsar wants to make something out of this sign. I've been reading the coach's pre-match thoughts, and what he's saying is that even though they are yet to play a competitive game this season, that has all been friendly matches and training, but they believe the team is 90% ready to face us. That should tell you the kind of opposition they will give to us on Sunday. So I've been monitoring them. They played 3 friendlies. They played against AS Kalista. They also played against Wakiria. Wakiria is also playing in the CAF Competition Cup. So getting a friendly match from such opposition will give them an idea of how the African game is going to be. And they've also played a friendly against an academic side called Saint Marie. And if you look at the results, they were quite positive results for them. I think the last 2 days, they divided the team into 2, played a friendly match, and it ended in a draw, 2-2. Samson Eduku scored for the other one side of the team, and then Martin and Chu was also on target for one side of the team. So clearly, Kamsar are ready to face Sassuolo on Sunday. And as the news has been out, they sent an advance party, including the CEO of the club, to Ghana for about 2-3 days now. So they are monitoring the situation and everything in Ghana. And I can tell you, they are really, really ready for Sunday's game.
I bet they have Felix Romark and James Sowah's names on their board. They're monitoring them around as well to see where they go in this one. But James, can you tell me about the notable injuries in camp? Because and these days it's good to have my ears very much on the ground when it comes to Crown Hearts of news. And well, 1 or 2 fans were wondering where's Awako, and then I think it became very clear that we had about 3 other players out. I mean, let's talk about the players who are out of this game in terms of injuries.
Well, as the bed rightly told you, I think Latin is nursing a minor injury alongside Daniel Cordier. But aside that, I think Samobodi has got full strength squad to choose from for Sunday's encounter. And then notably Kujo Jnr to stop Accra folk from doing the needful on Sunday. It's going to be a very interesting game. Tough to say, but I think somebody like Latin Awako, his experience will be needed in such a high-profile matches like this, because we all know it's a one-off game for which whoever wins carries the day and goes into the next round. But with Kamsar, I think Accra folk should be able, or would be able to skill past them without the likes of Latin Awako coming to the fray. But where he will be needed much is against WAC, which we all know they are much tougher side. They are opposition that they know the African terrain. They know how to play in the African club competitions, and we know what they did to our neighbors. That's Asante Kotoko. So Accra folk must be ready for them. But for the injury situation in Accra folk, I don't think they will miss that much against Kamsar.
Right. Romark, you've seen a few of the friendlies, have you? I don't know if you've seen the film. I've heard the results. The Accra Lions game, I don't know if you watched it. I think there was one against Banana East, and then there was one against the Atapaka Elders or so. Have you seen the friendlies, and what have you made of that?
Yes, I think I have watched 2 of the friendlies. The one against Accra Lions, the newly promoted Premier League team from Division 1, and then I watched the one against the Togolese champion, where Accra folk lost by 1 goal. I think that for Accra folk, they wanted an international friendly to have a feel of what it takes to play. Initially, they were thinking that they would have to go to Guinea and play against Kamsar, but then you look at the political situation in Guinea, it means that game has to be a one-off game at the Accra Sports Stadium. But in that particular game, I think Accra folk had issues to travel, and they got to Togo very late in that game, and it affected their performance on the pitch. And that in itself is a lesson for them. It means that if you should enter into the group stage, or should you try to travel outside the country to play in any of the CAF Champions League games, or maybe in Confederation Cup, it means that you have to do your preparations well. I've always been saying this. in playing the CAF Championship, Champions League or the Confederation Cup, it is not just about what happens on the field of play. Earlier on, you spoke about how a team have already left Guinea to Ghana to study the terrain and study what is happening in the camp of Accra. That is how preparation should be like. Hearts of Oak in this African campaign should liaise with, if it's the embassies in the countries that they are, Ghanaian embassies in the countries that they are going to play. They should make sure that there is an advance party that will go out there and do all the groundwork for them. And that is one thing that the North Africans are good at doing. And that is the reason why they've successfully succeeded in Africa. And then the game against Accra Lions, I think that in that particular game, a lot of the players were playing with the fear of not getting injured. And I think that also affected the results of the game. And I'm sure that come the game on Sunday, that mentality will be erased from their mind. If you can't beat Kamsar, you have no business playing in the CAF Champions League at all, because just as Nuhu said, they are minnows and then we need to get past them. But I'm sure that we have the team that can beat the Guineans. Despite the friendly games, yes, we shouldn't be worried so much about what has happened in the friendly games, because it will be a different ball game altogether when it comes Sunday when we play against Kamsar.
Well, no, you have also seen one or two of the friendlies. What would you put down as the notable areas or departments in the game where Kamsar would like to, take advantage of?
Oh, well, I haven't watched House of Oak friendlies, but I've got one or two reports from
reports, yeah.
Those people who watch and monitor the game. I don't think someone who wanted us to know what sort of formation will be playing on Sunday in those friendlies. He was using the friendly to try new things and then try to make sure the players get some playing minutes just to boost their morale for Sunday's game. So yes, they lost to Asco de Cara, which was expected. I knew Asco would not get that sort of performance everybody will be happy about. But losing to Asco de Cara gave Samobodu an idea of how the African game is played, and definitely would identify and strengthen them. Everything works perfectly for us. Against Accra Lions, yes, they lost to the Division 1 side. As Romark said, most of the players were being cautious of not getting injuries and all that. So the kind of zeal and energy you see from the players, we didn't get that against Accra Lions. Yes, they lost, but one thing I am always optimistic about is that when you use friendlies to judge a team, sometimes you make mistakes in that regard. The team is trying to fine-tune their preparation, what they've been doing in training, what they are practicing or trying to see in a match situation. Kamsar, they have a very good coach. I will be honest with you. He's a Frenchman, Daniel Breyer. So he joined the club, I think, in September 2020. He turned things around for them. Said to make sure they finish second. Now in the Guinea. He was nominated for Guinea Coach of the Season just last month when the awards ceremony was being done. But what I know is that he's also having a new team altogether. But for Kamsar to sign 12 new players, which means they are now starting to build a solid team. And very, very unfortunate for them, their key man last season was El Haj Abdulrahman, who finished as top scorer of the Guinean League. Very, very unfortunate, he was on loan, so they couldn't activate his release clause to sign him permanently. So they are playing against their main man, who is El Haj Abdulrahman. So they are now trying to look for new strikers, Musa Diallo and other players. But I've seen their friendlies too. I've monitored the comments about their friendlies, and I don't think they have anything to scare House of Oak. House of Oak to be able to take advantage of Kamsar. If you are a team and you want to do well in CAF Champions and you are unable to beat Kamsar, then I'm sorry, you are not ready for the African competition. Kamsar shouldn't be a problem for us.
Yeah, Felix, I think one of the things that we kind of overlook is that Samuel Wedu has a bit of Africa experience. I think with Media Mercy, perhaps with the Confederations Cup, is it right?
Yes, it is. It is. I think that he has the African experience. But one thing I will be worried about for Wedu in Africa is his temperament, and we've seen it several times in the league. He's gotten away with it because it is in the Ghana Premier League. But then, if you come to Africa and you come out with such temperament, you might cost your team, because your team would need you to be on the bench to seal them through the results that you might want. So he needs to check his temperament. In the friendly game in Togo, he got sent off, and that is a clear indication that in Africa, we don't do such things. And I'm sure that maybe the technical team and maybe the management team have spoken to him about how to control his temperament. The experience is there, but such temperament can cause your team, and I hope that he clearly understands the task ahead.
Well, okay, so we're going to just look at the the starting lineups and what is likely to happen right now in the case. But is it the case, Romark, that in the goalkeeping department of Accra Hearts, is that even that anyone can come in from anyone?
I think that if you want to talk about the team, the starting 11 or what team Wedu would want to put up, I think that he will go with majority of the players, despite the new signings coming in.
Right.
He will go with the majority of the players that he used in the Premier League and then in the FA Cup campaign. And that means that Richard Atta will surely start in post, because he was clearly the best goalkeeper in the Ghana Premier League in terms of statistics. So I'm sure that he wouldn't want to utter that. And it is also important that you keep the spine of the team, especially when you are into a new competition. Even when new players have come in, you need to keep that spine. So I'm sure that he will surely start with Richard Atta in post for that particular game on Sunday.
And then we can go on. And what is the picture looking like
and
in
then
central defense?
And then central defense, Mohamed Alassan will surely be there. And then Robert Addo. They have been very, very solid. If you look at Robert Addo, I think that Nuhu Sule's red card in Dream FC in that league game where Accra Sowah lost by 2-0. It has been a blessing to Samuel Wedu, because everything about Accra Sowah changed on that particular afternoon in Nuhu. Robert Addo coming in and having a very solid partnership with Mohamed Alassan could clearly be stated as one of the reasons why Sowah managed to win the league. And I think that they will surely be the two defensive units in that particular defense. And then
there's no change in right back and left back, obviously, captain. Right back.
Of course, the captain, and then the Congolese soldier.
He looked very good in his jersey, yeah?
He looked very good in his jersey. He looks very solid on the field of play, and his performance for Accra Sowah even getting a call up into the Congolese national team, and that should even tell you that for a team like Congo to look into the Ghana Premier League to get a player tells you there is quality in the league. So nobody should deceive you. If a player who is playing, the foreigner who is playing the Ghana Premier League can get a call up into his national team, it means that there's quality, and I'm sure that he will surely start that particular game. In the midfield, that is where we have a bit of problem, because as at now, Sowah have registered Benjamin Efutu for the Confederation Cup, for the Champions League, with the hope that he will renew or he will sign a contract with them. So as at now, it doesn't look possible for Benjamin Efutu to be in that particular team. So I'm thinking that he will go with Emmanuel Neti and then also Caleb Amankwa in that particular game. On the flanks, he will go with Razak, Patrick Razak.
He got a bit of experience about Guinean football. He will know a lot about Kamsar because of his time in Oroya.
Of course. So that should also be a huge plus for Accra Sowah. So I expect him to be on in that particular midfield. And then also you have Daniel Banyefie, 20 captain, and I think that will be good for Accra Sowah. Up front, I'm sure that Kofi Koji would start in that particular game, and I'll be very, very happy to see him play. And then also behind him might be Salifu Ibrahim, because he will need that creativity in that particular field. So I think that this will be the preferred lineup for Wedu. If there was if Benjamin Efutu was around, it means that maybe Emmanuel Nete would be on the bench, and then Caleb Amankwa and Benjamin Efutu would be that pivot in that midfield. But now that there is no Benjamin Efutu, Emmanuel Nete comes in and then goes straight into that particular midfield.
Right. James, I don't know if you agree with this powerful lineup there by Felix Romark, or you think there are a few changes anywhere, or you're perfectly fine?
Well, I just hope the Kamsar people are not listening to our show, because Felix is spot on. But the only issue is I heard Caleb took a little knock against Accra Lions. I hope he's able to shake it off.
Yeah, he actually shook it off, and then they had a closed door training the day before, and he featured in that particular game. So far,
Caleb is fine
to play.
Okay, good. Caleb is fine.
Then that's solid.
That's solid for you.
It's spot on. But I don't know. My issue is who plays up top. My issue is who plays.
You don't like the Kofi Koji option he gave you, right?
I am not.
And you don't have Koji Obin Jr. as well. So
that's the issue. So I think he but Isaac Mensah is still there. So
yeah, Isaac Mensah, yeah,
probably he would love to.
But so if you look at Kofi Koji, he brings you strength.
Yeah.
He brings you experience. If you look at the available strikers for Accra, I don't think that experience-wise they will come near to what Kofi Koji can do. And Kofi Koji can also put a lot of pressure on that Kamsar defense. And I think that will be the reason why Boydu might want to go with him.
I perfectly understand your point and why you love to have Koji start. But the question is, how is his conversion rate and the percentage?
James, not to cut you, but I was just feeling that again, if you use Kofi Koji, you have the chance of the Kamsar defense paying attention to Kofi Koji, and Banya gets his run out. Razak and Ko get a run out there too.
But Banya's position, and anytime Banya flourishes is when he plays as an auxiliary striker. So no qualms about that. But anyway, I think Accra to folk have striking issues at the moment. So I was hoping during the transfer window they will rather go in for one striker, quality proven striker, and then a centre back. But nonetheless, I think Kofi Koji also comes with a lot of experience. After leaving Accra to folk, he went outside, he's back. So if he's able to up his game a little bit, I think he will be able to give the Kamsar guys a run for their money, because I checked the matches that they played, and defensively they are solid. They rarely concede goals. They conceded 17 goals in 26 matches that they played in the league, and they also scored 33. So we know where their strength lies at the moment, and that's at the back. And as Nuhu rightly said, their marksman, their top scorer, who happens to be on loan, they were unable to tie him down. So, and he scored most of the goals for them. So that's a deficiency in their squad right there. So they would rather play on their weakness and their strength now, and that's defending. So Accra folk needs to be very clinical on the day. And I don't want to see the Kofi Koji that we saw before he moved off the shores of Ghana. Yes, because this is a CAF competition. This is an international match, and you would love to take opportunity when they fall your way, because you won't get it that much. So when you get one or two, you have to tuck it away, and that's what I want to see on Sunday. I don't want to see beautiful football. I want to see Accra to folk making good of the chances that falls their way. But I think the striking department currently is Accra folk deficiency. So I'm forced to go with Romark's submission, even though I'm not too much into Kofi Koji's starting. But I hope he's able. I hope he proves me wrong.
Yeah, he may definitely just prove you wrong by scoring some 2 goals on Sunday. Right on that. Yeah, no. So can you take us through what Kamsar have then? What are their starting lineup look, or what is their starting lineup looking like based on what's your pick?
Yes, I've been monitoring their friendlies, and I think the Frenchman Daniel Breya is is playing some sort of formation most people are not familiar with. Looking at what is on paper, their formation is 3-1-4-1-1.
Wow.
3-1-4-1-1. So he prefers to play wing backs instead of full backs. So Amos Pimpong will be playing as a right wing back. Then Mohamed Lamine Bangura will also play at the left side of the wing back position. So I'm going through the formation. Clearly, the Beninois goalkeeper, Damilola Sheyi Wilson, will be starting in post for CI Kamsar. The 3 back or the 3 central defense will be Hasmiu Kamara, who is also a new signing in the team. Salah Zaku Nsingani, who is a Congolese, he will be in the middle of the 3 back, and then
another Congolese in the game. Oh,
another Congolese in the game. And on the left side of the back 3 will be Karok Sogosi or Mohamed Failu Diallo, who is 18-year-old with a lot of energy. So in the midfield, where they'll play 4, I've already indicated Amos Pimpong will be at the right side of that midfield, playing as a right wing back. And then on the left side, you have Mohamed Lamine Bangura.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
As the left wing back. In the central midfield, they have Kwaku Kanga, who will be in there, and then Sanam Soro. So this will be the 4 in front of Sankuba Sela, who will play right in front of the back 3. So the 3-1-4, and then the 1-1 will be Martin Entry playing right behind Musa Diallo, who will be the striker for the game. So this is how Kamsar are going to play on Sunday. When they are attacking, they will attack in a 3-1-4-1 situation. But when they are defending, Amos Pimpong will go to play at the right side of defense, and then the left wing back, who is Mohamed Lamine Bangura, will also join the defense. So they will become 5 defenders. Then Martin Entry will join the other 3 in midfield, and then Musa Diallo will be the only one leading attack. So when they are defending, it is 5-4-1. But when they are attacking, that's where we see the 3-1-4-1-1 formation on the field. So Kamsar, they are coming, they believe they can beat Hasukuk, but they will not attack Hasukuk. They will defend and then make sure they catch Hasukuk on the break. In the friendlies they play, what I've seen is that they concede early goals. First 15-20 minutes, Kamsar will concede before they will come back, get the equalizer, and go ahead to win. So if Hasukuk will be able to take advantage of that efficiency in the first 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the game and get at least a goal, I think Hasukuk will be pleasing to beat.
Right. Romark, just take us through the little protocol. I mean, game is on Sunday. What else? When is it opening? When is it starting? Where can people get to watch games? Where can they get to buy tickets?
Okay, well, from what I learned from the club, in terms of TV, Hasukuk is trying to get the highest bidder for them to have the game telecast live on TV. And negotiations are still ongoing as at yesterday, because in the CAF, from CAF, the host teams have the right to negotiate their own TV deals in the preliminary rounds. But when you get into the Champions League, the group stages, that one is CAF decisions to get a TV rights sponsor. So this is one opportunity for us to get money to support their African agenda. Another thing is, as at last week, Hasukuk wrote to CAF to ask them the number of supporters that can come to the game and watch. But then, as at yesterday, CAF have not responded to that request from Hasukuk. Yesterday, I spoke to Opari in the evening around 9 p.m. and they said still they have not gotten a response. So what they intend to do is they have already come out with ticketing pricing for the game. Should in case CAF give them the go ahead, they already have tickets ready. But then if they also don't get response from CAF, they will go with government initial decision of allowing a 25% capacity at the Accra Sports Stadium. That was what was used in the Ghana Premier League games. So if they don't get response from CAF, 25% supporters, that's the capacity of the Accra Sports Stadium, supporters will be welcome to watch the game. So those are the preparation that the club have been back in. And talking about the unveiling of the new kit, the team will play in the new Umbro kit that was unveiled yesterday. All COVID protocols must surely be observed. And I think that for accreditation, media men who want to cover the game, this one doesn't go through the FA or the National Sports Authority. It has to go through Accra Hearts of Oak. So if you still haven't applied for accreditation, you can go to the social media handles of Accra Hearts of Oak. They have put out how to get the accreditation. And then in terms of pricing for the games, it is also out there on their social media channel. So that is the latest concerning the game on Sunday. And it is very, very important that Hearts of Oak needs to win this game, because if they should win this game, the first away game against WAC will be in Morocco. It means that Hearts of Oak get the opportunity to play the second leg at the Accra Sports Stadium. So it is a must-win game for Accra Hearts of Oak come this Sunday.
Well, I think that's well said and done. And the game is kicking off at what time?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Okay, so we look forward to that one. I have to say a big thank you to James. James, thank you so much. You have a prediction for the game?
Well, my only prediction for the game on Sunday is Accra Hearts of Oak advances to the next stage of the competition. And that's all I want to see, and that's all I want to read about.
All right, okay.
I won't go into the score lines.
You're going to score line. Yeah, Romark, what do you think?
Well, Sika Kuno said something. Results is the most important thing. And the first time, I will have to agree with him. I don't care the way Hearts of Oak plays. All I want is progression into the next round.
Results is the most important thing. Nuhu, what can you see through the to the crystal ball? What can you see there?
Yeah, I see Hearts of Oak advancing. Let me say, 3-1, 3-0 score.
Okay.
All right, George. Before you go, no, I'm in Kumasi, so let's link up.
Oh yeah, you got to link up, guys. Oh, why are you in Kumasi? Okay, are you coming to Accra later?
To Accra on Monday.
Oh, really? Okay, well, so you are missing the game
here.
Oh.
Yes, I'll miss the game, but I'll make sure that I follow it.
That's right, that's important. We're all going to be following the game wherever we are. Thank you very much, Romark, for your time. Thank you very much, James Sowah. And thank you very much, Nuhu Adams. Always, you coming through with this one. We wish Accra Hearts the best, because I've said when it comes to continental competitions, whenever you have a club in there, the club is hoisting the flag of Ghana. So we wish that Accra Hearts can push Ghana all the way. When they have won it, we can come back and sort out the little issues between Accra Hearts and Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But for Sunday, it's all about Ghana. Thank you guys for your time, and we wish everyone the very best.
Hearts of Oak never said die until the bones are rotten. They've looked good, they've deserved it, and they are true champions.